Okay, we have conjecture number 41, the parallelogram opposite angles conjecture. What this states is that the opposite angles of a parallelogram are congruent. So I'm going to go to measure angles, and then I'll go to number tabulate, and I'll make a little table here showing that no matter how this moves, that the opposite angles are always congruent. Conjecture 42, the parallelogram consecutive angles conjecture. What this one states is that the consecutive angles of a parallelogram add up to 180. These are supplementary angles. So we're going to measure those angles, and then we're going to go to number calculate, and I'm going to add those values together. And you can see from that, no matter how this moves around, that the measure of those two angles will always add up to 180. Conjecture number 43, the parallelogram opposite sides conjecture. What we're going to show here is that the opposite sides are congruent. If I measure their lengths, you can see that those are the same. And if I measure these lengths, again, you can see that those are the same. So no matter how this thing moves here, the opposite sides will always be congruent. And our final conjecture, the parallelogram diagonals conjecture. What this states is that the diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. So what we're going to show is that these two segments are congruent. So measure the lengths. And we're also going to show that these two segments are congruent. Measure the lengths. So again, the diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. And if you want, you can use the marker tool and show that this segment equals that segment. If you click it twice, it'll have two markings, and that segment equals that.